Hey. Hey. So this is shout out to people who lives the crazy busy life. Hey yo. Jay, I just upload files on pCloud and just send you the link. Yeah man, this video will be so good. Yeah right. So cook them super good. Alright. How's it going guys, and thank you for coming back to this channel again. So I posted R6 Mark II review before, and that was the first time to talk about the Canon in my channel. I didn't know how many of you guys were interested in Canon, but after posting the review of it, I got many requests and comments about like S5IIX versus R6 Mark II. You're right, they have a lot in common. Both are fantastic video machine, but at the same time they have a great photography performance, and they cost pretty much same, around $2,000. If not Sony, the next possible best option for many of you guys would be either of Lumix or Canon. I mean, no offense to Nikon and Fuji, I just don't know much about them. I've been using both of cameras for a good amount of time, and now I got solid insights about those cameras. So today, let me share it with you guys. I think this video will help your decision making again, and it's just so much fun to watch. Okay, as always, before you jump into this video, please hit the subscribe if you haven't to grow out this channel. I need support. Okay, first of all, both cameras have amazing 4K video. And their 4K is not just 4K. The actual resolution is 6K. You know, the 6K over something 4K. Honestly, there is no difference in the sharpness and the detail level. It's like they're doing their job according to the spec sheet. But actually, Lumix S5IIX offers us more recording options. It provides us with a MP4, MOV, and ProRes. And there are many recording options like this. Canon R6 Mark II is simpler and easier to use, especially for beginners. But actually, I really appreciate that I get those many options on S5IIX. This can fit more different scenarios. Canon R6 Mark II and Lumix S5IIX. This one is Lumix S5IIX, and this one is Canon R6 Mark II. So every time I make comparison, S5IIX is just brighter than anything. So I guess that is some kind of uniqueness of Lumix Vlog, right? But how is it? You know what, when it was in a comparison of S5IIX and Sony a7 IV, I said I liked the S5IIX color. But when it comes to Canon, oh my god, Canon's skin tone depiction, just it's so deep, like a color gradation of skin tone. I mean, everything is better in R6 Mark II. So I think this is the biggest difference between those two cameras. R6 Mark II shoots C-Log, which is Canon's log profile, and S5IIX shoots V-Log, which is Panasonic log profile. So this color comparison is gonna be pretty much like Canon versus Panasonic. As always, I did a almost same color grading on each. Of course, they are different brands, so I did a fine adjustment so that they look similar each other. But there is still the massive difference. Easiest difference that we can spot is the brightness. Lumix is brighter and the Canon has stronger contrast. And Lumix has popping color like those greens. The Canon has a tight color vibe. The way the color comes out is really different. I felt it was really difficult to make the Lumix look like Canon and the opposite too. So I think this is one of their uniqueness. Personally, I like colors on the sky and those trees in Lumix, but I like the skin tone on Canon. It is difficult to decide which is better. Canon has a tight and solid vibe in the image and it shoots better skin tone. But Lumix is softer than that and it got a warm, kind of gentle, kind of cinematic feel. Initially, I was expecting that I would love Canon's color better than Lumix, especially when I was making the review of R6 Mark II. I just loved the color depiction, especially skin tone, so much, and definitely at that point, I think I liked Canon more than Lumix. But now, when I actually compare those cameras side by side, I think I like Lumix better. I mean, it's slightly easier to handle. but this is really based on my personal use and the feedback from that. So I definitely want you guys to see the difference by your own eyes. With that being said, I will provide you with some footages from those cameras. All you gotta do is to hit the link below, my pCloud public folder, and just download footages. So you can have footages from both of R6 Mark II and S5IIX, so color grade them by yourself and see the actual difference and the uniqueness by your own eyes. So last thing in this section, I'm gonna talk about low light performance. I'm not sure if the R6 Mark II has dual native ISO or not. No matter how hard I searched, I couldn't find it. So let's compare those cameras at each ISO level. By the way, S5IIX has it 640 and 4000. So first, at 640, they both look super clean. Most of the image is shadow, but it was depicted so clean. ISO at 3200. Well, still they look clean and the noise is not that obvious, but when you zoom in a little bit, slightly, R6 Mark II looks clearer. ISO 6400. From this, they are getting noise. And R6 Mark II, the amount of the noise is not that different from ISO 3200. But in S5IIX, the noise is not increased from 3200, but it looks sharper than R6 II. Simply, it looks brighter without gaining much of noise. ISO 12800. Okay, now I'm getting each uniqueness. R6 II is more smoother. There is noise, obviously, and you can see it if you zoom in, but the grain is smooth and not harsh. You know, each particle is big. S5IIX is sharper and brighter, but also the noise gets sharper and clearer too. Grain is tiny and it's a little harsh. And you can see at ISO 51200 really well. See, R6 II is smooth, but it's not that sharp. S5IIX looks really sharp, but also it looks rough. So I think both have pretty good low light capability, but they are good at different points. In my opinion, if I'm allowed to use noise reduction at post, S5IIX can be better. It can reduce the noise, but also the sharpness. S5IIX has an extra sharpness than the R6 Mark II. With that being said, S5IIX looks better in total. And of course, I will give you those low light footages as well. But this can be happening without today's sponsor, pCloud. So pCloud is a cloud storage service with a lifetime plan. Once you pay for the plan, you can use it for 99 years. So basically it's yours until you actually die. This is huge advantage over other cloud storage service with a subscription plan. You can save files and access to them on your computer with the app pCloud Drive or on the web. If you use pCloud Drive, you can extend the available space on your computer with up to 10 terabytes. And you can use your files in the cloud as if they are saved locally, but without taking hard disk space. Not only that, many great features are coming with this plan. You can share files with people. It got a built-in video audio player, the reliable, efficient file management. The data recovery is available. You can back up files from other cloud services like Dropbox and Google Drive. The great usability and the strong and reliable security. Speaking of the security, this pCloud held a encryption hacking challenge with a $100,000 prize, but no one could hack it. So even though you don't have a special knowledge about encryption, you can feel secured even when you handle some sensitive files on pCloud. That's so helpful for example, videographers and photographers who shoot a commercial that has a strict embargo rules. Plus, I think a few people watching my channel from Japan, right? In that case, pCloud has an official partner in Japan. なので、もし英語に自信がない人でも安心して使うことができます。まあ、日本語のサイトもあるし、日本語でのサポートも受けられるので、ぜひ、チェックしてみてください。Yeah, I am Japanese. You didn't know that? And there's a huge reason why you gotta try it right now. The crazy sale, Tanabata sale is going on right now. Tanabata is Japanese celebration, and now I wonder why they used this name for that, Tanabata. Anyway, all plans get about 50% off. And remember, it's a one-time payment lifetime plan. I don't see any proper reason to buy it later when you actually need the cloud storage. 2 terabyte is $279. Just get it right now before the sale ends. The data is as important as our life if you're a creator. We gotta care about how we manage it. I am pretty sure that pCloud will help you for that, and it can boost your creative life. Okay, now let's see their video and photo functions. First of all, they both shoot 4K 60 FPS, but R6 Mark II doesn't get a crop, while S5IIX gets it. S5IIX has more color options such as V-Lock, Rec 7i, real-time lot, and other many presets. R6 Mark II had some, but not as much as S5IIX. Both can do HDMI recording. S5IIX can do ProRes, RAW, and B-RAW, but R6 Mark II has only ProRes, RAW recording. Both have unique creative functions such as a video self-timer on R6 Mark II, but when it comes to this, S5IIX has more functions like live crop, focus transition, also high resolution photo mode, and photography. I've been saying this so many times, but S5IIX has a lot of display tools like histogram, parade, and luminance meter, and goes on. Even night vision mode. R6 Mark II has some, but it's just not gonna be the good comparison with S5IIX. Both have a burst shooting, and this R6 Mark II is so much better. It shoots up to 12 FPS for up to 1000 frames. S5IIX has it, but seems like R6 Mark II showed its OG Canon photography ability. Now let's look at their build quality. Well, they are totally different type of camera. S5IIX is a modern square type, but the Canon is a classic rounded body. The instant impression when I hold both cameras, R6 Mark II can give me the warm and easy, comfortable feeling, but the S5IIX gives me kind of spicy and cool motivation. And to me, it's easier to shoot photos with R6 Mark II. I mean, this position, so comfortable. But S5IIX, it's easier to shoot videos like this position. About the size and weight. Since R6 Mark II has a better grip, it feels thicker, but it's lighter than S5IIX. But S5IIX has a good balance, you know, like this, so it doesn't feel super heavy. Buttons and dials. Well, about this, S5IIX is better to me. R6 Mark II is super simple, and I think it's good for many people because it doesn't have any weird, you know, uniqueness. It's just so easy to use. But S5IIX has more physical options such as, you know, this wheel. No, just look at it carefully. It got 4 buttons inside of this wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Although I don't use those. But anyway, S5IIX can give me a faster and more efficient, you know, access to the camera setting. But this R6 Mark II has this operation lock switch and the photo video switch. And I have to apologize about one thing. I remember that I said I didn't like this multi-function button on R6 Mark II, but now I kind of got used to it and it feels it's so easy to use. And the great thing about this is that you can change the camera setting and modes even when you shoot with the viewfinder. I can see this multi-function display right here, and you can change the setting modes without looking the monitor at the back. Everything can be done right here with this multi-function button. If you understand and get used to it, this will definitely boost your shooting. But still, overall, this S5IIX has a better body design for videography. About the interface, they have pretty much same things except HDMI size. Full size for S5IIX and micro for R6 Mark II. Okay, at the last, let's talk about autofocus and image stabilization. First, autofocus. Well, there isn't a crucial difference. Both are doing great job. I like how Canon's autofocus motion is so smooth. It's not slow. It's just there's no rapid focus transition. I think this is good when you want to express something dramatic and cinematic. But on the other hand, S5IIX is just so fast. It seems like it got a better tracking performance. Even when it's a difficult focusing situation, S5IIX handled it a little better than R6 Mark II. But overall, it wasn't like a 0 to 100 game. But when it comes to IBIS, it was like a 20 to 80 point game. Well, every time I compare this S5IIX with other brands, this happens. Because Lumix has a crazy IBIS performance. You know, Sony is not bad, Canon is not bad, it's just Lumix is too good. It already looks so stable even without a electronic IS. When it's electronic IS, okay, Canon is getting serious, pretty good. But Lumix is just damn good. So I think for the next couple of years, I think I will do the same test and I will get the same result. Okay, this is it. It was such a fun comparison video. How was it? Which did you like? Let me know in the comment below. The lens. This could be one of huge reasons to use Canon cameras, especially Canon's new RF lens. That depiction is crazy, right? Well, it has been like that since Canon EF-L lens. Even though I am not a full-time Canon user, I know that. I think you just can go for Canon just because of lenses. I mean, don't think like Canon makes great lenses, but not as well as other brands in camera body. So maybe stick with a Sony or Panasonic. No, Canon's cameras are amazing, but slightly Sony and Panasonic are a little shifted to videography, in my opinion. And especially this S5IIX is a fantastic video camera. Could be a cinema camera. Can this R6 Mark II be that? I don't know. Can't say that with 100% confidence. So if I have to choose the one for videography, I think it would be S5IIX. But for photography plus videography a little bit, this R6 Mark II can make your life more fun and better. At the end, see the difference by your own eyes, and don't forget that you can get footages from R6 Mark II and S5IIX on pCloud public folder, and you can check it out from the link in the description below. And also, do not forget about Tanabata crazy sale. Now is the right time. Okay, this is it. If you have any questions, just shoot me anytime, anywhere. And if you like this video, show me a thumb and hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.